Okay.
Stop my sync.
I'm good.
Got any vocal warm-ups?
Oh my God.
Let's do
Okay.
The Dragon
Ready?
Ball Z vocal
Ready.
warm-ups. Just
Season is cozy. We can just
This is very
hang out on the
cozy. I
couch.
feel like Ken's with us.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm here.
Yay.
All right. Mary, can we please have a one-word prompt?
Anime.
Ooh, timely.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Well, you didn't know this, but Ken and friend of the show Danny and I have been talking about anime today. I just finished the Neon Genesis Evangelion series. I'm going to move on to Chainsaw Man next, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's a guy that has a chainsaw for a head and his limbs.
Good.
Yeah, I
Pretty
want to watch
pumped.
that too. Hold on one second. Hey, welcome to the... Oh, hold on. It needs to be sexy.
Yeah, sexy time.
Hey, welcome to the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Hi, CJ.
This is the
Trying to go
sexy
for complete
show.
opposite sexy.
That's someone sexy.
Gotta balance it out, huh? This is the show where we talk over TV shows and movies as chosen by our guests, but all month of February, we're doing date movies.
Wondering how long you can keep this up.
It's a real fine line between my spooky voice and that one. It's like so
It's
close.
just a little less raspy, I think. But
yeah,
basically
a
the
little
same.
higher.
Yeah.
Do
Less
a
threatening.
sexy spooky.
I don't know.
That's someone sexy.
Probably, yeah. Everything is somewhat sexy, right? So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
As we'll prove this month as we watch quote unquote date movies all month long.
quote unquote date movies.
Very
The
loose theme.
loosest of our themes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I did watch Role Models on Valentine's Day with my husband.
Wow.
And it was
Whoa.
great. So I think of Role Models as a date movie. Anecdotally, no one else probably does. So this is really just relevant to me. And I appreciate
CJ,
you guys wanting
who's
to
that
watch.
voice I'm hearing?
That voice you're hearing is Mary, who's sitting right next to me. Yay!
Hi, Mary.
Yay. Hi.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Thank you. It's good to be back. It's been fun listening to all of the episodes and the RAP for 2022. So I'm just happy to be back. And I feel like I was part of it listening to you guys, but now I actually am because I get FOMO. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Do you also have qualms with our end of year list that Fast and
I was
Furious
just
did
gonna
not
ask.
make the top 10?
You know,
Yeah, any
I'm not
notes?
upset. No notes.
Okay.
It was great. This is your show.
Thank you.
And
That's right.
if someone's upset that a Fast and Furious movie, there's like 90.
Oh, not
of
just
those.
somebody. I mean, Wayne Knight
Yeah.
was pretty upset.
That was not him, right? Like that couldn't have been
Who's
him.
to say?
I don't know.
It
Almost
was
all of our
Wayne.
Instagram
It was Wayne
followers seem
Knight.
to think he was real. So
Yeah. I got a lot of feedback from people that thought it was real. So
Well, do you ever get emails from people when you're at work and like a vendor will send you an email? It's just their photo in their signature.
they test their headshot.
Maybe Wayne was
Yeah.
doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
it's valid. Yeah, it's real.
And actually, speaking of all the flack we got, we've got several emails, which you can email us at overtalkingabout@gmail.com, and voicemails, which you can call or text us at USACat1591. We actually have a voicemail today. So let's take a listen. Gonna warn you right now, it's the complete opposite of those critique voicemails.
Hi, CJ and Ken. We've been trying to reach you regarding your podcast extended warranty. For the low rate of $3 a month, Cameron will continue to be a guest on your show. But anyway, I called to let you both know your friendship means the world to me, and I'm so glad you guys are a part of my life. From watching the Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup in CJ's basement to hours of video games and drinking monsters at Ken's, we have had tons of good times with many more to come. Congrats on those engagements, by the way. You've got yourself some real awesome gals in Emily and Meg, and I couldn't be happier for y'all. I love you guys and just wanted you to know that. Make today a great day and see you later. Your friend, Cam.
Teared up
That is
listening to that.
so sweet.
I'm crying.
Yeah. That's the
I'm
nicest
literally-
thing I've ever
guys,
heard.
I'm literally crying right now. Okay.
Ken's literally
Ken's
crying.
face is so wet.
And you know how much it takes to get that blackened heart of his with all those horror movies inside to get him to cry. I mean, it's quite a feat.
It's pretty
Yeah.
easy, which is why I avoid anything other than horror movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very, very nice, Cameron. We love you too. We really appreciate your friendship.
The best. One of my favorite humans in the entire world.
Yeah.
And if you love that sweet voice, go check out last week's episode. We had a blast.
Mm-hmm. He might be on next month, too. We'll see.
We'll see. Who's to say?
Who's to say? Maybe Cam.
But before we get to anything in the future like that, we have to get a little sexy because it's date movie month. So we're going to talk about role models and more coming up on the Overtalking Podcast.
This fall,
You're going to Sturdy Wings.
We bring adults and children together to enhance the lives of these children through one-on-one friendships.
I already prefer jail. It will take a couple of boys.
Are you sewing? Yeah, this is my country's emblem, and we would like to invite you to be a soldier in the Zambian army.
To make them men.
This community service has given me some perspective. You complete me. You had me at hello.
Oh, God. Danny.
Let's go.
Role models.
See you tomorrow, Ronnie.
And we're back on the Overtalking Podcast. Joined once again by returning guest Mary, and it's date movie month, so we're talking about role models. Mary, we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for you to describe for someone who's never heard or seen the movie Role Models what role models. Jesus Christ, what it's all about.
Someone hire us to do movie trailers. Ken's got the voice.
Seriously.
I can do little sound effects in the background. Like, why aren't we making a business out of this?
Yeah, I want just over-talking movie trailers.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should do that from now on. Okay.
Listen,
Well, let's add
producers, if
more
you've heard the War on Christmas segment that we released as a standalone,
Yeah.
I think that's
yeah.
all the real tape we need for us.
That's our resume right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, ready to go.
Role Models is about two friends who are slackers, and they do something. They get in trouble at work, and then they might have to go to jail. But instead, they get community service. Their community service is to be a big brother, little brother program, and they are paired up with two kids that they do not have anything in common with. Turns out that they end up all being friends, and everything works out in the end.
3, 2,
Paul Rudd is a slacker.
1. Time. And hilarity ensues.
That too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so before we get into the movie too much, you already touched on this a little bit, but you chose this movie because you have watched it with your sweetie on Valentine's Day. Is that correct?
Yes. We had a movie night. My husband and his roommate were also
Sweetie,
there.
please.
So we had my sweetie and his roommates
Thank you.
also had a sweetie, and his roommate's sweetie was there. And we did Willy Wonka grandparent style sitting on the couch watching this movie together. And so it has a special place in my heart because it is ridiculous. And I also feel like it is such a product of its time. Just the jokes are not good. I want to say that right now. I don't agree with the jokes said in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't agree with the 10-year-old looking at naked titties.
Mm-hmm.
That upset me a little bit. I do agree with the LARPing,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I want to talk about that.
Yeah. I would describe this as a juvenile comedy.
Yes, I would agree
Yes.
with that. Paul Rudd, I feel like that part of his career was just how many slacker type, handsome type characters can we give this man?
Kind of a schlub, but he's extremely good looking.
Yeah, where it's like it's okay that he sucks.
Yeah.
Because look at him.
Yeah.
But and then that infamous coffee size rant.
Yeah.
Good morning. Can I take your order?
Can I get a tall chai?
Large black coffee.
A what?
Large black coffee.
Do you mean a venti?
No, I mean a large.
He means a venti. Yeah, the biggest one you got.
Venti is large.
No, venti is 20.
Danny.
Yeah. Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian. Congratulations, you're stupid in 3 languages.
Oh, yeah.
It was,
right.
Yeah, at the time it was so funny, but now as I'm an adult and I'm watching this, I'm like, you just suck.
Yeah, it's
Stop
kind of
it.
hack.
Just,
It's
just
okay.
an
Joke
asshole.
about that. Yeah.
Leave. Don't be there. Go
Yeah.
away.
It's in Dennis Leary's stand-up special. He has a whole rant about whatever happened to just a black cup of coffee. You got your mocha joker, whatever. It's like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that.
Yeah, this is like late Gen X humor.
Yeah.
I'm good. And the thing about that with those movies, it's like the worst thing you could be in those movies is gay or fat. And there
Yeah.
will be a joke
Yep.
about it, and it's just terrible. Mm-hmm. But I did like the movie because it was very funny.
Yeah.
Not those jokes, but everything else.
Yeah, I like it.
So before we get too much further in the plot, it starts out with Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott. That's his name, right?
Yes.
And they work for Minotaur, which is basically an energy drink. And Paul Rudd hates his job, and Sean William Scott enjoys it. Mary, do you hate your job? Is that why you chose this movie?
OMG, I do right now.
Would you rather work at Minotaur?
I would 100% go work for Minotaur, or it's like Red Bull girl energy. Where did you ever get those in your
Yeah.
in your college?
Yeah.
In Chicago, you would either get the Camel Girls, Tamale Guy, or the Red Bull Girls. So we would like hop around the bars in Albany Park, or we'd go to like Ukrainian Village, and you would get one of those three people trying to get you to get Red Bull, to get cigarettes,
It is
or
cigarettes.
tamales.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, they
Bygone
have girls
era.
hawking cigarettes? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they just had like this big backpack, and they would just pull out Camels, and you could take them. It was a
You could take home
lawless
little
time.
baby camels?
Yes, it is like
Well,
the
that's pretty
Spy
cool.
Kids movie where the guy has tiny animals. I think about that a lot because
What a
sometimes I wonder
reference.
what it would be like to have a small cow in my pocket because I love cows.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of cigarettes, shortly after Paul Rudd is basically fed up with his life and working for this company, he gets in a fight with a police officer who's played by Louis C.K., who
Louis
comes
CK.
right off the bat with the British cigarette term. Just coming in hot
Yeah.
with that.
Word. Yep.
Yeah.
It was like casual slur.
Yep.
I
Which
wish
is
he
already
did
the
get
second
run
time this
over.
movie it's been said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I picked a bad movie.
I also like it. Obviously, it is like a comedy, in that like this Paul Rudd character, who we said kind of hates his life, even though he's dating Elizabeth Banks, which like
Who's a lawyer?
who's dating this
Right.
like guy who's clearly having a crisis, and yeah, she should break up with him.
She should. I also
Yeah.
so when they go through the crisis and he, fellas, let me ask you this: it's Valentine's
Here we
Day,
go.
and you're
Oh,
in a
boy.
rut with your sweetie. Do you propose to get out of your
Yeah,
rut?
that's-
Do you
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
shake
how I did
things
it.
up temporarily with the promise of forever? Just terrible idea.
Yeah. I don't get where he's like, oh, I hate my life. It's like, you did this. This is your fault. Like,
Yeah.
then stop working there.
Are in control
What
of your life. You can change it.
Yeah.
But also, you're
How do
dating
you-
a super hot woman who can probably take care of you financially for the rest of your life. So if you're worried about that for your career, I wouldn't. But
Yeah.
There's so many details to their personal life that do not make sense. When she moves out, she is driving a minivan. Is it her minivan? Is it
Meg
one
had
of
the
her
same
friends'
question when we
minivan?
watched this. Why is she
Why
driving
is
a
she
minivan?
driving a minivan? The other question I have is if he's working at Minotaur and going to middle schools to tell them not to do drugs, but instead have a sponsored energy drink instead, why does he have a house? How does he own a house in
Yeah.
Los Angeles?
That's just the movie logic of like,
Oh, yeah.
money
Yeah.
isn't a thing. We just live here.
No sense.
Yeah.
No.
Also, where does Sean William Scott, is that his name? He has
Yeah.
3 names that are first names, and I don't like that. But he's
right.
like, I don't know where they chose to make him live, but that's what you would live in if you worked at that company.
Yeah. That was
Right,
a more
a
accurate
shack,
representation.
A
Yeah.
literal shack with a
Yeah.
pinball machine.
That was one part of the movie I did love. I loved that he is so into Knights in Satan's Service. That's right, folks. One of my favorite music fun facts. That's what KISS stands
Wow.
for.
I did not know
Knights in
that.
Satan's
I didn't know
Service.
that.
Doesn't that make them more ridiculous now knowing that?
It does.
It makes
These
it even
guys
better
dress
for
up
that
like
to be
that.
their theme later in the movie for when they go LARPing.
Yeah. Yeah. These guys
Interesting.
that dress up like that are like, yeah, Satan. It's like, no, you're singing about like getting laid and partying. That's not.
Yeah, it's like they're cosplaying what they think metal is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
Except
that's
it's just
pretty-
like pop.
We're going 3 layers deep here, guys. They've got LARPers who are dressed as KISS, and KISS is probably thinking that they're more like metal than they are, like hair metal than they actually are. But
Yeah. But they're not.
They're not. But you don't BS a BSer.
Never.
You never BS a BSer.
One of the best parts of the movie, if not the best part of the movie.
You know what I used to eat for breakfast? Cocaine. You know what I used to eat for lunch? Cocaine.
What'd you have for dinner? Was it cocaine?
Oh, and fellas, do me a favor. Next time you want to bullshit me, bullshit each other instead. Okay? See how that feels.
Jane Lynch, right? That's
Jane
her name.
Lynch.
Yeah, Jane Lynch's character of like, please remind me. I feel like I forgot a key detail of her backstory. So she's talking about when they go to the charity that they have to do community service at. It's like something crazy, like hundreds of hours or something like that. They have a video at the welcome session, and it's her reenacting what she used to do. And it was just like her in a leather jacket doing cocaine, drinking. But then it was just like not explained. Maybe I missed this. Please let me know if you guys got this. When did she stop doing that? It just sounded like she was like, then I realized I need to help children.
Yeah, I don't think they really...
Yeah, it was not explicit, I don't think.
I did really, really enjoy, though, that, like, it feels like elementary school classroom style where the TV is on a little cart that these people are watching. And in the video they're watching, she moves off screen. And then in real life, she, like, comes from behind the TV in the same pose that the video does. I was like, that's
so
really good. I also just want to talk about that this is basically like a Wet Hot American Summer reunion. This cast, the people, David Wayne directing, Joe Latrugio, Paul Rudd, everybody.
I didn't realize that David Wayne directed it until I saw him on screen, and I was like pointing that out to Meg, and I was like, you know what? I bet he directed this. And then I looked it up, and sure enough, he did. So that makes total sense with everyone who's in this movie. Yeah.
Was Ken Marino in Wet Hot American Summer?
He was.
I love Ken Marino. He was such an ass in this movie.
Yeah.
But I love him in general.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of, he is not stepfather, father figure, I guess, to Augie, who is the character who is very into LARPing. It's called Lair. Would you be upset if Augie was your kid? Because I would love that. If my kid was super into like using the sewing machine and like had a whole community. I mean, it's kind of strange he's hanging out with adults in the park. That's like just my one thing. But also it's just what a fun, inclusive environment. I'd be like, go have fun. I will bring snacks for all your friends.
Yeah. Juice boxes.
Augie is not like previous Jane Lynch, right? He's not running around doing drugs and drinking and having sex. Definitely not having sex. He's LARPing, you know? And I think that's great. I don't have to worry.
We had folks like that in college that would like do that on the quad. And it was anytime if I had like free time and was walking by, I would like sit down and watch. Very entertaining.
Oh my God, explain.
It's exactly what was in the movie. It's just like in the center of our campus on the quad, they would like gather and play that. I saw people with, they even made, instead of just swords, like somebody had bow and arrows where they were shooting like cotton ball darts at
that's
people.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that looks like fun. And then, of course, you like hear other people like making
what
fun
are
of them
the
as they're walking
bylaws?
by.
Like, what's the hierarchy?
Oh, I don't
What
know.
are the
I don't
minutes
know.
at these meetings? I'm so
CJ,
interested
tell
because
us.
yes, tell us, CJ.
I was not a part of it, unfortunately. They wouldn't let me in. I got banned after the first set. Yeah.
Because the one time I saw LARPing in real life, I just happened to be at the park. I was at Wells Park. It was during quarantine, and the only thing you could do socially was sit outside. So I did that, and I was watching these high school kids just like going to town, wailing on each other. They had this like elaborate setup, and there was also like a kids' soccer game pretty close by. And they would just like they're like off to the side, so every time they'd have to stop because a ball would roll onto their side of the field, and they would just seem like they're having so much fun.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons is very fun in like a similar vein. You just get to like it's all make 'em ups.
It is all make 'em ups, and I do appreciate all the little voices. Joe Latrugio, can't say his last name.
Latrugio.
Trugio. I don't think we ever I don't think the viewers of the movie ever hear his like normal voice.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's just speaking in the
Right.
Alec. Yeah. So that's Augie. I really liked Augie's character. I like weirdly loved and hated, what's the other character? The other kid.
Oh,
who was just like so rambunctious and like very obsessed with titties. Having him paired up with Wheeler is just perfect. Because he's like party guy and all that, but like the part that like really made me realize like this is just a little kid. It was at the movie or at the party in the movie when he kind of like gets
Ditched.
abandoned,
Yeah.
and he has to walk home, and that just sucks.
Yeah, that made me feel bad.
Yeah. Funny up until then, and then it's like, all right, he is just a kid. He's got feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. In middle school, I had classmates who like were really grossly sexual like that. They would like openly talk about people's bodies. And then like if they got made fun of or bullied, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you're still a child." Sorry to bring it down. Like, I just don't understand like why they did that. It was just like that weird concept of like, how funny would it be if this little kid was like, we treat him like an adult man. Like it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day movie.
What was it like to have confidence when we were younger? Does anybody here know?
Well, that's the thing though. Like that's two kinds of confidence. Like you can be so confident that you'd want to go to a park and LARP with your friends and not give a shit what strangers are thinking of. Or you could just like openly ogle people and have that kind of confidence. So maybe a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Question that I would like answered by both of you. If you were to play LARP, what like character are you going with? Just a normal like sword and shield, maybe some arrows, a wizard dude.
I think
the king.
I think specifically if I'm LARPing, I think I would just be normal sword and shield dude, because I think anything else practically of being able to battle is not as fun, right? Like I could see maybe shooting a bow and arrow might be okay, but if you're doing magic and you'd have to like throw, I'm pretty sure they throw like packets at people, right? That's how they cast spells. That doesn't seem as fun.
We do catch that for like 5 seconds in the movie where it pans over to a guy behind a tree just moving his hands like this.
Yeah.
And it's like he's clearly a wizard. It's like, that doesn't seem fun. You're just off to the side.
Yeah, there's got to be
great.
rules about that. Like if you're going to be a magic user in whatever like LARPing kingdom that you're in, there have to be rules. Like you have to do specific arm movements. But what's the point? Like it's not as fun. You get to make your own weapon. I would do like Ken. I think I would do a sword situation, but I would want it short. Like I want a short guy, so I could like psycho stab.
Sneak up behind him.
Oh yeah,
catch him.
just like repeated stabbings.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or a big hammer.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, it might be fun to be like a rogue.
A rogue.
A rogue with like 2 small daggers, just pull them out.
Oh yeah.
That would be cool.
The stabbing got me excited for that.
Got excited to stab people. Interesting. For me, probably sword and shield, because I think that is the fun of it, is like actually going up against somebody and getting to actually like sword fight, but knowing that like the stakes are, I just get to sit out of this game. Nobody's actually going to get hurt. This is fine.
I like the rules. When you get hit, you have to put your limb behind your back or hop on one leg. I feel like that is no other way to do it.
Yep.
There really isn't.
Yeah. All this is like, I think kids do this already.
Yeah.
I know I would, like fight with my brother with plastic swords and stuff. And we probably did something similar where you put your limb behind your body.
We used to play this game called Grim Reaper, and it was purely because our across the street neighbor had a scythe from Halloween, like a plastic one. And so to play Grim Reaper, you are on a bike and everyone else is on rollerblades, and the Grim Reaper has to catch as many people as possible and turn them into ghosts, and then the ghosts are on your side.
Ooh. Dang. So
this sounds fun.
Riding around trying to like hack at people with the plastic.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
And then the last person to become a ghost is the next round's Grim Reaper.
Oh, nice.
That's
we did a lot
well
of
thought out game.
Yeah,
We
that
did a
sounds
lot
fun.
of stupid shit like that. I think my favorite game as a child was Box Monster, and
Great name.
Yep. We would go to Grandma's basement, and you would create an obstacle course, and then you would put a box on someone's head and turn the lights off.
They just have to like roam around.
We
the
tried to send it
obstacle
to Zoom, and they didn't take it. Do you know what I'm referring to?
course. The kids show thing.
Yeah, www.yes.org.
Is that their website?
I don't know if it's still there, but it was that kids show on WTTW where like you could submit fun and science experiments, and they would do it on the show, and we're like, we should submit Box Monster.
Maybe it was just branding was the issue to call it Box Monster. Like, well, how's it start? Well, you put a box in your head. Okay, I don't know
Well,
about this.
first you make the obstacle course, and then you turn the
Yeah,
lights off,
okay.
and then you put the box on your head.
So they at least get to see the obstacle course before they have a box on their head.
Yeah, but I don't think that was by design. That was probably by accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you should have submitted the Grim Reaper one. I think that would have gotten.
Yeah.
gotten
What could you in LARPing? Let us know in the comments if you can, in the emails, if you can. Is there a Grim Reaper type character in Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that? Because I don't know about this stuff.
There's there's like magic users who are specifically like necromancy related. I currently play D&D with a group from work, and one of our people is that basically where he can, rather than like killing people, he more can resurrect like a bunch of zombies. He has like a horde of zombies following him at all times, which is pretty fun.
That is so cool.
That is fun. Would have come in handy in our campaign when I died, Ken. Ken was our
Should've played
dungeon
better.
master and he killed me.
Did I kill you? I don't remember
No,
that.
I mean, like I died, but it was hard.
I feel like that's your fault, CJ.
We didn't have any healers. It was not really well thought out of like
No.
what skill sets would do well to each other. We kind of
No
just did
part
our
of
own
it
thing.
was thought out. I had
Yeah.
never played D&D before and decided to host, be the dungeon master. I don't know. It was fun, but it was could have gone better.
Lessons learned.
But I feel like being a healer is kind of lame. It seems so passive.
Yeah, you usually just like collect potions to do that instead.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh well, I have a healing potion. I can heal you instead.
Do you guys want to start our own LARP kingdom?
LARPing?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Feel like I'd
like we can
injure myself.
conceptualize it first, but because I'm a bad crafter, so
Yeah, who's good at sewing and stuff?
like, what would our kingdom be? You know, how many kingdoms? Like, how many little? I don't know. They
What
had
they call them, like nations or
how
something?
many nations
yeah.
are allowed to
Yeah.
enter?
That was also some serious LARPing where they had full-on scaffolding and made a castle.
Oh yeah.
That one guy dressed as a minotaur
Yeah.
was just, or no, a centaur. Sorry,
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
centaur. That was perfect.
I loved it. Oh, I like your costume. Thanks. Thanks. Like very nonchalantly slashed him and killed him.
That part was great, and I also really loved Ken Jeong as the king, the corrupt king, who
Yeah.
was just like hanging out at a burger joint and makes Paul Rudd kiss his ring.
And Matt Walsh. Comedy out the wazoo in this movie.
Yeah,
know.
seriously.
So we're already kind of getting towards it, but let's talk about the end of the movie for a second.
Oh.
Oh,
What did you all think? Because it ends with basically after the big LARP fight, everyone somehow ended up at the park at the same time and witnessed it. And
course.
basically through hand wavy magic, Jane Lynch says, you're not going to go to jail because I used to suck the judge's dick for cocaine, which makes no sense at all.
no.
And
Yeah.
and then Paul Rudd sings a song to get back with his girl, which is the most awkward thing. As you may be able to tell, I thought the ending was the weakest part of the movie, but what did you all think?
I have to agree with you, Ken, because I don't truly dig the whole like, and with the wave of my hand, all of your problems will not
Yeah.
be around anymore. None
Yeah.
of this will exist.
Yeah.
And you can keep LARPing and you can still do whatever you want. And also, let's hear Paul Rudd sing Beth.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta say, Elizabeth
Terrible.
Banks, you could do better. Don't take him back.
You can do so much better.
He's still kind of a shithead. At least like give him a couple months to see if he comes around or something. Don't just like immediately be like, oh, well, he played with LARPing with a kid, so he must be changed.
But he also missed his court date. He's so unreliable.
Yeah, exactly. They should be in prison. But.
Yeah.
But like public displays of affection, there are tiers
Gross.
to this. There are tiers to public displays of affection. There's tier 1, hand holding. Benign, fine, do it, innocent. Tier 2, that's the kissy
That's
stuff.
making out in line at a amusement
Six
park.
Flags, yeah, you are. That's tier 2 PDA. Tier 3, I'm talking public engagements. I am talking about singing in public when it's not appropriate to do so. Like you're not a musician on a stage. This is tier 3 level.
Yeah.
I don't like tier 3.
Nope.
I barely tolerate tier 1.
Yeah. Tier 3, gross. No, thank you.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. Well, how you guys feeling about your knowledge of this movie? Because it's time for... Hey, did you know that? That's right. For new listeners, this is the trivia portion of our show where we pit our guest and CJ head-to-head to see who knows the most about what we watched. Mary, CJ, are you two ready?
Let's go.
Ready.
Shout out to my sweetie, Meg, who put together the trivia while we were watching the movie last night.
Thank you, Meg.
Thank you, Meg. All right. First question. This is probably pretty hard because I don't think I can answer this. What does LAIR stand for? First person to shout it out gets the point.
Yeah, because it's...
Legion Army?
I'm trying to think of what the I
0
stands
for
for.
2? Okay.
It's
Legendary.
live action.
Legendary action in role experiences.
Live action in person role playing.
Where's the P?
Get any of those right?
P? Where's the E? There's an E.
Experience.
Hey.
Okay. CJ's closer, but I mean,
No
neither
point.
of you are right. CJ, you get a half a point because you got half of it right. Live action interactive role play explorers, apparently.
Explorers. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
I disagree. But all right, I'll take that.
I
half
mean,
a
normally
point.
it's LARP, right? Live action role playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
it.
Yeah. Which must be like trademarked or something for them to not
By
use that
who?
one.
Maybe.
Which
I
nerd
don't
did
know.
that?
The LARPing community.
No.
I don't know. Yeah.
The smart one.
King
Oh,
LARP.
sure. The financially sound nerd.
Yeah. All right. Next question. This is multiple choice. Many of the lines in the film were improvised. Which of the following cast members laughed so hard at an improvised line they peed their pants? Was it A,
Wow.
Paul Rudd, B, Ken Jeong, C, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, or D, Joe Lo Truglio?
Joe Latrugio.
I think
Trulio.
it's Joe.
Okay.
Man, I love this question.
Yeah, that's great.
No, I'm going to say Augie. I think it was him.
Oh, is that Christopher Mintz-Plasse?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You're both wrong. It was Paul Rudd.
No! Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what line made him piss himself?
Do we have that?
We sure don't. All right, moving on.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a bummer. All right, question number 3. What is the name of the... Oh, well, just first person to shout it out because I think we both know it. What is the name of the energy drink?
Minotaur.
I think that's a
All
tie.
right, you both get the point.
Just take it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yay, my point.
All right, next question. Jane Lynch, Paul Rudd, and Elizabeth Banks appeared in which film together before Role Models?
Oh, and this is not multiple choice. Okay.
Nope, just first person to shout it out.
Rats.
I can give you hints if it takes a while.
Yes, please.
Just one hint. Yes.
These open-ended questions are hard. I don't like them.
Yeah, I know. It stars Seth Rogen.
Oh,
Before
knocked
Role
up.
Models.
Oh, hey, I was wrong. Yeah, I thought it was Knocked Up, but it's not Knocked Up. It does not star Seth Rogen. It
Wait,
stars Steve
reset.
Carell. Reset. It stars
A
Steve
40-year-old virgin.
Yes,
Yeah.
40-year-old
40-year-old
virgin.
virgin.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm looking right
like
at
these-
it. And
just name a movie.
I don't know why I jumped to that other movie. Okay. Next question. Elizabeth Banks, Joe Truglio. Man, I'll never be able to say it. And Christopher Mintz-Plasse appeared in which film together after Role Models? Ooh, this is a tough one.
Part of me wants to say Hot Tub Time Machine, and part of me wants to say Superbad, but I know they're both wrong.
I was going to go with, is it I Love You, Man?
All right, so you're going to need a hint. It
Yep.
is a musical movie.
Oh, I'm never gonna guess. No idea.
Musical movie.
The producers.
Not that kind of musical.
What do you mean not that kind of musical? What's a musical?
Like they sing in it.
It's a comedy musical. They sing in it, right? It's not like, they don't just break out in a song for no reason, but they sing in
So
it.
it's not a musical.
It's South Park.
Oh, that's a good guess. That is not right.
Another
I
hint.
can't remember what the main girl's name is, but that'll also just straight up give it away.
Do it.
Elizabeth Banks in this movie plays a commentator for one of the big events of the movie. Does that help?
Kind of.
Pitch Perfect?
That is correct. Yes.
Damn.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, it is a musical movie.
Right.
That works.
Next question. What does what does Jane Lynch's character say she used to eat for breakfast and lunch?
Cocaine.
That's correct. You both got it. Another just shout it out when you know it. What is the name of the restaurant the king, Ken Jeong, and his subjects eat at before layer?
Burger Boy.
Burger Spot?
Keep going.
The Burger Joint. Did I already say that? I did.
Oh, the Burger Hole.
The
Oh,
burger
it is the
hole is
Burger
correct.
Hole. Yeah, because that's
nice.
just great.
How are we doing on points?
'Cause that's a great name. I am leading 4.5 to 3.
Okay, we'll make it 4-3.
Okay.
All right. This is maybe the final question. What is the Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter score in percentage closest without going over? CJ, since you're in the lead, you go first to give Mary the advantage. For those who don't know, this is the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, this is tough. I don't think comedies like this tend to get high ratings from critics. I really have no idea. Maybe a 62?
Okay.
Somewhere kind of like lower-ish.
I was also thinking in the 60s range, but I was thinking 66.
Okay.
All right. Mary gets the point. It's 77%.
Dang.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
All right. So
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am as well. It's a fun movie, but I don't know if it's that fun.
No.
All right. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's also older at this point. So then I guess we're effectively tied because I screwed over CJ. Sorry about the half point, CJ. But you didn't really get that question right, so it doesn't really matter. So what is the Rotten Tomatoes audience score in percentage, just closest? And I'm going to want you to both say your answer at the exact same time.
Do you have your number?
I have my number.
Audience score. Okay.
Audience score.
All right. Yep.
Ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
82.
78%.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's high.
Yeah.
That was
Well, if
high.
the critics
And it
were that
was,
high, I have
I
to
know.
assume audiences.
it was too high.
Oh.
Mary's our winner.
No. Oh.
Congratulations. It was 74%. You were very close.
That feels
Dang.
so good hearing that sound when you win.
When you're a winner.
That
Must be nice.
I want that for everyday life though. Like I get the green light.
Take out the trash, throw it, close the bin.
Exactly. Yes.
Awesome.
Make it happen.
Congratulations. Well, I think that means it's time
Thank
for
you.
our ratings.
Yes.
Ratings.
Mary, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate role models for you?
It gets a solid 6 out of 10 for me because it is still a product of its time. Some of the jokes unnecessary. Louis C.K. didn't actually get hit by a car, which that would have been even funnier if he
Bummer.
did. That would be like cherry on top. But no, 6 out of 10 for me. I thought it was funny, but it doesn't get more than that, and it shouldn't.
That's fair. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. CJ, what would you rate it?
Yeah. I don't think this is getting a 7. I thought it was funny. I laughed a bunch. It was fun. It was a fun rewatch. Definitely a product of its time. Some words should not be said anymore. It's a lot of juvenile jokes, as you said. So maybe a bit too much for my personal taste. But I still had like a good time. There's a lot of funny people in it. So I think for me, maybe a 6.5. I'll go a little bit above.
You and your half
Okay.
points today.
Just like kind of
Okay.
a run-of-the-mill, solid-ish movie. Ken?
Nice. For me, yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to let older movies that have some not so great language affect my scores.
Idle Hands.
Anymore, for good or bad. Idle Hands is, yes, the main example of that. So I am just chalking up to a product of its time, which is fine. But yeah, I mean, beyond that, it's fine. It's funny. I'd watch it again. It's not great. And yeah, a lot of the humor is lowbrow and childish. So I don't know. It's fine. I think I'm going to be the hand-holding club with Mary, though. I think a 6 is pretty spot on for me.
Pretty, wow. That's quite an agreement.
Overall,
yeah,
pretty
6.
Much.
It feels
perfect.
good.
It's average. Yeah.
It's not that great.
It's fine.
We all agree it was a kind of a good time. It's pretty average, solid-ish movie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And you know what? I'll watch it again.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if somebody had this on.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Mary, thank you for kicking off Date Movie Month with us. Yeah. This was a good start to the month.
Nothing like a hot movie.
Yeah, this was pretty hot. There were boobs in it.
Yeah.
So.
There were titties in this movie. So you and your sweeties out there
getting horned up.
Go watch it.
If you like to spend your Valentine's Day just looking at boobies, this is it. Mary, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any? So much fun. Do you have any? Do you have any plans for what is it, Valentine's Day this year?
Oh yeah. Nope. I mean, I think we're gonna eat dinner and then we'll make our own separate batches of popcorn, his and hers.
I like that.
And then we'll just watch trash.
Nice.
So
that sounds pretty nice.
Is the separate popcorns because of quantity or you put different toppings on it?
Both. He's a taller man, so there's more space for the popcorn to go.
To fill.
If he's a cartoon. Yeah, and he goes from
fills in all the caps
from
on
the
the
feet
inside.
to the top of the head. It's filled with corns. And he puts his little pizza sprinkle on his, and I put dill pickle sprinkle on mine.
Wow.
Dill fan.
What?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh, wait, I knew this.
Yeah. Anything that has to do with pickles, no thank you. No, like
listeners, it may surprise you to know that we gifted CJ some pickles for Christmas. They were homemade. I am not kidding.
Yes, that's true. And they are all Emily's. Emily gets to enjoy all of them.
I don't want you in my kingdom anymore.
But the cookies were great. Thank you for those. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hit a nerve.
All right, we'll move on. Mary, thank you again for joining us. CJ, what do we have to plug at the end here?
You can follow us on all the things at Overtalking Pod. Call or text us at USACat1591. Email us like actor Wayne Knight did. Include your headshot. Overtalkingpod@gmail.com.
Oh no, they're here. The Overtalking Overlords have arrived. Oof. They are, of course, our ghastly, otherworldly landlords who show up at the end of every episode to remind me to remind you, if you like a show, please go on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, and rate and review. Reviews will help people find this podcast. Also, we spend no money in advertising, so if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Crank that soldier boy, you know?
Timely.
And as we always say...
you and your whispering eye.
Bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was produced by Ken and CJ, edited by CJ. Special guest this week was Mary. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.